Hello guys, welcome back to Van Z channel. As usual today I will share again a list of recommended games on the Winlator emulator for smartphones using Mali GPU. As you know, Winlator has not maximized its performance for Mediatek processors or those using this Mali GPU. The following list will show some snippets of gameplay on several smartphones. So please choose any game from the following list for you to use as a reference. Okay, let's begin. 1. Resident Evil Revelations. To play this game better, use the latest version of Winlator and follow the setting references on several channels according to the processor you have. 2. The Incredible Hulk. This is one of the playable games for you to play on this Winlator using the Mediatek chipset with a stable FPS of 60. 3. Dead Space. You can play this game on GPU Mali, even though it is less playable. Use the settings that you think are better for this Dead Space game on GPU Mali. 4. X-Blades. X-Blades is an adrenaline-packed hack-and-slash game guaranteed to get your nerves jangling. You can play this game quite smoothly on a Mali GPU. 5. Resident Evil 5. As you can see, this game is still not playable enough for you to play using a Mediatek processor. In the following gameplay using Poco X6 Pro. 6th Euro Truck Simulator. Like the previous list, this game is also still not smooth for you to play, and especially using the lowest Mediatek chipset. Use your own settings. 7. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. I recommend you to play this game on the latest Winlator. There are some channels that have given better settings to play on Mali. 8. Flatout. Flatout delivers a thrilling combination of high-octane racing, smash-em-up demolition derby action, and death-defying stunts propelling the driver through the windshield. 9. Shark Attack. This game is very similar to a British Bulldog-type game, however Shark Attack brings players to the beach for change of scenery. 10. The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion. Oblivion is the fourth installment of the legendary role-playing franchise, known as one of the most famous and high-quality series of RPG. 11. Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is a 2010 action role-playing video game that was developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Bethesda Softworks. 12th. Fallout 3. One of the games on this list that is quite playable to play on your Mediatek processor. Use the settings that you think are better. 13. Need for Speed: Most Wanted. To maximize the performance of this game when you play it on Winlator, use the settings provided by several channels for Mali GPUs. 14th Wrath: Aeon of Ruin. Aeon of Ruin is a 2024 first-person shooter developed by Kill Pixel Games and Slipgate Ironworks, and published by 3D Realms and Fulcrum Publishing. 15th Warcraft 2. It is a sequel to Warcraft Orcs and Humans. The game is set in a medieval fantasy world where players control either the orcs or the humans. 16th Tomb Raider: Legend. By using the latest version of Winlator, you can play this game more smoothly and more stably on your Mediatek or Mali GPU devices. Next, Mitsurugi: Kamui Hikae. I recommend you to play this game on Yuzu emulator for Mediatek devices, because on Yuzu this game runs much more stable on Mediatek Mali GPUs. 18. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Just like the previous list, I also recommend you to play this game on the Ethers X2 emulator, more stable for you to play. 19th, Crysis. Crysis is a science fiction first-person shooter video game. It was initially released in November 2007, exclusively for Microsoft Windows. 20th, Blade of Time. To play this, use the latest version of Winlator, then update the settings that you think are more stable to play on the Mediatek Mali GPU processor. '21st, Need for Speed Carbon. Need for Speed. Carbon is a 2006 racing video game and the 10th installment in the Need for Speed series. You can play this game quite smoothly on Mali. 22nd, Farm Frenzy. One of the playable games to play on this Winlator emulator, without exception for Mali GPU. Use the settings that you think are best and useful. 23rd, Age of Empires 2. Released in 1999 for Microsoft Windows and Macintosh in 2001, it is the second game in the Age of Empires series. Now you can play this game on Mali. 24th, System Shock 2 is a 1999 action role-playing survival horror video game designed by Ken Levine and co-developed by Irrational Games and Looking Glass Studios. 25th, Fallout 2. Fallout 2's gameplay is similar to the original Fallout. It is a CRPG or computer role-playing game with turn-based combat and a pseudo-isometric view. 26. PES 2013. In the following clip played using Mediatek Dimensity 8300 Ultra chipset and Winlator version 6.1. Use the latest version to be able to play more optimally. 27. Devil May Cry 4. Almost all mid-range Mediatek chipsets are capable of playing the Devil May Cry 4 game to its maximum in terms of FPS performance. 28th, DreadOut. DreadOut is an Indonesian indie survival horror game, developed by Digital Happiness for the Microsoft Windows platform. Now you can play this on Mali. 29th, Call of Duty 2. With quite realistic and stunning graphics, you can play this cool game, of course, on your Mediatek or Mali GPU device quite smoothly. 30. FIFA 12. FIFA 12, the 19th installment in the series, features 29 licensed leagues from 22 countries, 42 national teams, while also implementing 3 major gameplay changes. 31st, Call of Duty 4. Just like the previous 29th list, this game is also playable enough for you to play on your Mediatek or Mali GPU devices. Use your own settings to maximize it. 32nd, Far Cry. Far Cry is an anthology franchise of first-person shooter games, all of which have been published by Ubisoft. Now, you can play this game quite smoothly. Treadioandra SteamWorld Dig. SteamWorld Dig is an action-adventure game that combines mining, exploration, and puzzle solving. This is one of playable game on Mali. 34, Miside is a psychological horror adventure simulation video game developed by AI Hasto and published by IndieArc. This game is not playable to play on Mali. 35th, Jump Force Mugen. Jump Force Mugen is another fan-made fighting game made by Trafalgar Laws using the Mugen engine. You can play this game on Mali GPU now. 36, Prince of Persia, Sand of Time. Prince of Persia? The Sands of Time is a third-person action-adventure puzzle platformer video game. Now you can play it on Mali. 37th, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sand, is the next chapter in the fan-favorite Sands of Time universe, visiting his brother's kingdom following his adventure in Azad. 38th, Tomb Raider Anniversary. is a single-player action-adventure game where the player controls the protagonist, Lara Croft, from a third-person perspective. 39th, Tomb Raider Underworld is a single-player action-adventure game. You play as Lara Croft, exploring exotic locations around the world to find her lost mother. 40. 18 Wheels of Steel Extreme. Wheels of Steel is a series of trucking simulators, as a spin-off of Hard Truck, with the first game becoming the third Hard Truck game released. 41. Need for Speed Underground 2. It is a sequel to Need for Speed Underground and is the first Need for Speed title to include free roam. Now you can play this game on Mali. 42nd. Don Bradman Cricket 14. The game contains the original cricket stats of every player, and they can be modified too. This game almost playable. 43rd. Halo 2 is a shooter game. Players primarily experience gameplay from a first-person perspective, with the viewpoint shifting to third-person for vehicle segments. 44th. Plant vs. Zombie is a tower defense video game where players defend their home against waves of zombies by strategically planting various types of plants. 45th. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cells Chaos Theory. Chaos Theory is a stealth game developed by Ubisoft Montreal and Ubisoft Milan. Now you can also play this game on Mali GPU. 46. Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead contains 4 game modes: Campaign, Versus, Survival, and Single Player. Now you can play this game almost stable on Mali GPU. 47th. Borderlands. The game is set on the planet Pandora, contested by bandits, mercenaries of interstellar corporations, dangerous wildlife. Now you can play this game. 48th. MotoGP 07. 100 challenges are available, from real-life MotoGP scenarios to slalom runs to staying above certain speed thresholds. This game are playable to play. 49th. Resident Evil Revelations 2. Claire and Moira are knocked unconscious and awaken later to find themselves in a dark and abandoned detention facility. Now you can play this game on Mali. 50th final list. Dead Space 3. It is the third and final main entry in the Dead Space series. The game's story follows player character Isaac Clarke and his allies as they explore a frozen planet, Tau Volantis. And that's all the list of 50 games that you can play on Winlator using a smartphone that has a Mediatek processor or Mali GPU. For games that are not included in the list, you can find out by trying them yourself, starting from 2D games to semi-heavy games. Okay, if this video is useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. See you in the next video. Bye.